Hi guys, Alicia Darlene here. I wanted to do another video just about how to know if you are feeding your breastfed baby enough milk. I know that can be kind of confusing just because you're not able to actually see how much milk they're drinking because they're not bottle fed or doing any formula. So it can be kind of confusing, especially as a first time mom or a first time breastfeeding mom. I'm actually both. I have just had Avea. She is 4 months. And I am also, this is my first time breastfeeding too. So I know that it's something that we constantly worry about if our baby is getting enough milk. And sometimes it can be, like I said, a little bit confusing. We actually saw a lactation consultant for the first couple of months. Well, yeah, about like 2 months after having Avea, just because I had so many questions and this was like a whole new thing for me. And you might be in the same position as that, just it's a little bit confusing. You don't know if they're drinking enough. Avea would also get really sleepy at the breast. Whenever she would go to feed, she would start falling asleep, and that was a little bit hard too, just because I had to constantly keep her up, keep her drinking milk. And I know, like I said, it can be hard to know if they're actually getting enough. So if this video would be beneficial for you, please like this video and also subscribe. And let's get into it right away. Okay, so the first thing, obviously, if they are content after they've eaten, they're comfortable, they're relaxed, maybe they fell asleep, then you know that they probably got enough milk. It just, if they're just showing that they're comfortable, and if they're crying and fussy still afterward, then you might want to try to, feed them on the other breast and kind of see if that helps. They still might be hungry, but if they are still, they got enough breast milk from both sides, they were on there for an adequate amount of time, they might just have some tummy trouble. So you might have to look up some like gas, constipation, stuff like that. You might want to consider looking into if they were able to feed on both sides for like I said, an adequate amount of time. So you can check on that. So if they're calm and relaxed, definitely they got enough. And then another thing is you want to look out for the position that you are feeding them in. I know that Avea, I would put her on like a boppy. It was called my breast friend pillow, and I would feed her on that. It's kind of just like a boppy. It's just like a little bit better for your like the way that you stand and stuff like that. I can't think of the name of it right now, but anyways, so I really like that one. And my breast friend pillow, I like that one a lot. So when she would feed from there, and then I think when she turned around 3 months, she did not want to eat, and I was kind of freaking out, like, why doesn't she want to eat anymore? What's going on? And it was actually all about the position that she was eating in. So she got a little bit bigger, and I guess she thought she wanted to be older and sit up. So instead of laying down completely when I'd feed her on the boppy or the pillow, she wanted to pretty much be between my legs and sitting up, and then she would eat. So it took us a little bit just to figure that out, that's why she didn't want to eat, was just because of the position. So definitely switch up the position. If you have them laying down, sit them up, maybe try the football position, just try a bunch of different things, and hopefully that helps if you feel like they're not drinking enough. So you can also just account for like how your breasts feel before and after you feed. So usually mine would, once your milk comes in, of course, but usually mine would feel more like plump and kind of hard and a little bit of pressure and just full. And then after I was done feeding Avea, then they kind of felt a little bit light, softer. They weren't as full of pressure. I kind of felt like a little bit of relief. So you can definitely use your breasts are a little bit of a sign for that. Some women don't feel any difference between before and after their baby was fed, which is completely okay, but that's just something that you can start to look for. If they're full before and they have a little bit of pressure relief after. So you can definitely look for that. Also, the big one is if they are getting enough wet and dirty diapers. I'm sure you've heard this like a million times, especially from your pediatrician and all that. But that's really gonna be a really good indicator if they are drinking enough breast milk. So if you get at least 6 wet diapers a day, and then they say about 1 poopy diaper a day, but that's a little bit different for breastfed babies because they can go up to a week with 1 poopy diaper. Avea did that, and I was kind of worried about it, so I brought it up for her next pediatrician appointment that she went a week with 1 poopy diaper. The pediatrician just said that that's completely normal for a breastfed baby to go that far without one, just because they are absorbing everything in the milk and they're not really like wasting anything. But I say if it goes past a week, maybe then you should call your pediatrician. But if they are getting at least, you know, one poopy diaper a day, like I said, they can go up to a week. Sometimes Avea would go 3 days and then she'd go and then 3 days again. It's completely normal. Actually, now she goes like once or twice a day, which is also again normal, but it just depends on their body, and the breast milk really doesn't get wasted. So just remember that for the poopy diapers, but just also make sure that they have at least 6 wet diapers a day. That's a really good indicator that they are drinking enough. Okay, the next one, swallowing. So this is a big one when they are drinking at the breast. Just make sure that they are having like those deep swallows with their cheeks, and you can tell with their cheek and their throat that they are really getting in that milk. You can also hear it, like just some gulping. So that's a really good indicator, obviously, that they are getting enough breast milk, that they are just sitting there drinking. If they are kind of just like suckling, maybe they're falling asleep, you're not really seeing anything from their cheek or their throat that they're swallowing any milk, then they're probably not. So maybe just take them off, burp them, wake them up. If that's the thing that they're falling asleep, switch sides. You can do all that. So just to make sure that they're really swallowing, that's a really good indicator too. All right, so then what you can also do is you can give them, if you're worried that they're not getting enough, you can give them expressed breast milk after you're done at the breast. So this is what I would do with Avea, just to kind of top her off. So I would feed her on one side, put the Haakaa, which is like the silicone breast pump. It's not really a pump, it just kind of suctions everything out, on the other side. So then I'd get milk from my letdown on this side. So I'm feeding her on this side. I feel like maybe I should top her off or see if she actually got enough. I would pour the Haakaa milk into a bottle and then kind of give that to her and see, just like I said, just to kind of like top her off and see if she would drink it. If she wouldn't, then she was completely full, and sometimes she would drink it. So I do have another video on the Haakaa breast pump. It definitely increases your breast milk if that's something that you're looking to do. I do have a video on that as well. I can leave that link in the description below too. So if that's something that you're trying to do is increase, I definitely suggest getting the Haakaa. Like I said, it helped me so much. It helped even start my freezer stash. So you can do that. But yeah, so just knowing like that you can give them expressed breast milk after the breast, but you want to make sure that you give the breast before you give the bottle, just so they don't get used to it, and you just are giving the breast, and that's when they know that they should be eating. So you can give a little bit after that. So I do have a free chart on how much expressed breast milk your baby should be eating. That's going to be really beneficial, so you can know based on your baby's age how much breast milk they should be drinking. So definitely download that. I'm gonna leave the link in the description for that one too, so you can download that. It'll go straight to your email, easy peasy, and you just have to enter your email and I'll send it to you for free. Okay, so then the next one is, okay, so just any, they will go through a growth spurt. So just remember that within like the 3, 6, 9, 12 weeks, they will definitely go through a growth spurt. And that also can sometimes go into like the months, like the 3, 6 months. So just know that your baby might be drinking more breast milk if they're going through those growth spurts. It might not always be based on like those 3, 6, 9, but they will go through a growth spurt and they'll drink more at that time. So definitely be prepared for that. That's going to be a norm. So just know that that's coming up within those weeks and months. But yeah, so I hope those ones helped you. I think I have, oh yeah. Okay, so last thing is, I know the pediatrician and everybody will tell you your baby needs to eat within 2 hours, especially right when they come out, right when they're brand new and they're a couple of weeks old, that they need to be eating every 2 hours. Yes, they do. And I was super strict when I was starting my breastfeeding journey. I was super strict about that. Just like I have a timer, okay, 2 hours, I need to feed her. I don't care if she didn't seem hungry, if she was asleep. I would make sure every 2 hours that she was being fed, just because she was a smaller baby and she weighed a little bit. Her weight needed to be more up, so I was really, really strict about that. So once we got the okay that her weight has actually gone up and we don't have to have that as like a worrying about it anymore, a problem anymore. I was kind of more relaxed on when I needed to feed her. I would just do more supply and demand. So instead of like, okay, every 2 hours, I don't care what we're doing, if we're out, we need to stop and we need to feed her. Like, I was way more lax once we got the okay that her weight is finally up and she's doing really good. So sometimes that would mean I'd actually have to feed her within the hour or hour and a half, or she would even go 3 hours sometimes. It was really just depending on her when she was hungry. So if they're telling you you need to feed her every 2 hours, yes, that's true, but maybe don't be so strict like how I was on it, and just do more of like a supply and demand type thing, which breastfeeding should be like. So you know, you don't have to completely worry about the 2 hour thing. Just feed her whenever she's hungry. And yes, that might mean you're feeding her more because she wants to eat every hour and a half instead, which is completely okay too. So I hope that these really helped you understand why your baby wants to eat more or less, or just some really good tips on how to like increase your breast milk supply. I do have that video, like I said, it's on the Haakaa pump, and I will leave that link in the description below also. But I really hope this helps you, because I know it can be kind of hard to actually visualize how much milk your baby is drinking. Some of us are able to weigh our babies. So they'll weigh your baby before you feed and then weigh them after. And the difference is how much milk they actually got. But not all of us have a scale at home. You can buy a scale on Amazon. I think it's around like 40-50 bucks, something like that. I can leave a description in there too if you're super worried about it. But like I said, if they are happy, they're content after you feed, they have enough wet and poopy diapers, and then your breasts can be an indicator too. But all those considering, I think you're going to be doing a great job, and you don't have to be so strict and like worrying and stressed out about it, because that can affect your supply as well. So just know that you're doing good as long as your baby's happy and you're getting enough wet and poopy diapers. So I hope this helped you guys. And like I said, like and subscribe to my channel. Thanks, guys.